forever blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles in the air.
Welcome back, Geo's here. You're looking a little bit tamer from the last time I saw you on YouTube, mate. You was all kitted out earlier on, and I was loving it.
Yeah, I was excited, but it was very warm wearing a scarf, so it came off immediately, and I'm back in my normal attire.
It's June, and Geo's got a scarf on. I love it. I hope you're not coming to the colour factory like that on Wednesday night, mate, because you will
What?
be
Why
absolutely
not? You need
sweating.
as much colour there as possible.
That's it, mate. That's it. I don't think there'll be a problem with that, mate. I think a few people, well, I spoke to multiple people, and outside is going to be very, very colourful, should things go the way we expect them to. So I'm quite excited for that, mate. If we get the result we're all looking for, I think outside the venues could be quite a spectacular sight, to be honest with you, mate. So, yeah, won't release any more information than that, but I think a few people have got a few things planned, which is exciting. I'm like you, mate. I'm just twitchy. All the videos that I'm seeing, all the photos that I'm seeing, everything. I want to be there now. Wasn't planning on being in Stratford until sort of the afternoon of the day. I've got to go to the venues tomorrow to put some final details in place and make sure everything's set up how we want it. And I can't see myself coming home, mate. I think I'm going to end up in a hotel in the area, and just stay there, and wait for it all to happen, mate. So yeah, I'm very, very excited. You're coming down on Wednesday, I believe,
Yeah,
mate.
first train out of here Wednesday morning, so I'll get into London quite early. I just want to get there, and also, you know what trains are like. If one gets cancelled, the next one I'm getting on the first one. So if there is any issues, I'll still make it. But I'm just buzzing for it. So I'll get to Stratford mid morning, get some food, a couple of drinks, start soaking up the atmosphere. Because there will be one, and I'm just buzzing for it now. I just want to be there. I don't, there's 2 sleeps to go, and it's like I just want them over and done with now. Last night I couldn't sleep really. I was thinking about it. I was laying in bed, like it's consuming me. I
Yeah,
quite like it though.
mate, it's what it's all. I'm just the happiest hammer that there could be right now. Like, and I know that what we've been through this season. I know everything else of how's it going to be moving forward, and we've got a lot of planning to do in whatever. I don't care right now. I'm not interested in any of it. I don't care if there's some media outlet touting some stuff on Twitter to get a reaction or clickbaity stuff. I'm not buying into it. I don't care if there's a rumor. I don't care what Antonio's doing on podcasts. I don't care about any of it. And I know some people will say, oh, well, this could have a knock on effect, so I should be bothered by it. But I'm not. I'll have my say about it all when all is said and done. After the 90 minutes is done and I've enjoyed my evening, win, lose, or draw, mate. And I know there's got to be an outcome, but win, lose, or draw on that night, I am going to be just enjoying every second, every moment. And I'll be proud of them no matter what the result, because they've taken us on something, mate, that I've never thought I'd see. And I'm loving every second of it. I will crave more of it. That's the problem,
Yeah,
is it? When you get to these things, you just want more. We just want more of these journeys. We want more of these nights. We want more of these occasions. So yeah, I guess that's the problem that West Ham have got, is we've tasted it now for a couple of seasons. We've been in a semi-final. We're now in a final, and I think we all want more. So minimal expectations from West Ham normally. Now they've got to deliver. But like I say, we'll worry about that when all's said and done. And for now, mate, I'm just loving it. I'm loving the videos that I'm seeing, the clips that are coming out. I'm loving the history that it's bringing back up, because I think sometimes our history can be a bit lost in these modern times. And I think it's bringing up all of that again, which I love. I haven't really been into collecting West Ham stuff for a long time. I see myself creeping back in, and I was buying stuff, Ron Greenwood signatures earlier on and stuff like that. And I just, where I felt like, and I'd said it a million times before, the West Ham that I knew was lost, it feels like it's made a bit of a a resurrection, mate. So no, I'm loving it and looking forward to it. You touched upon it there, that and the reason why we're here is to let everybody know what the plans are for the day. Geo will be down by midday. I'm planning on doing exactly the same thing. So we'll start getting into the information of the venues, what's going to happen, how things are going to go, and what people can expect. And the venues themselves open at 4 o'clock. That's the official opening time. However, when we put out a poll, a lot of people had requested, sort of 50% of people who were coming had asked if we could open venues around 1 o'clock. That was the sort of 50% of people said 1 o'clock is the time they'd like to arrive. I think everyone wants to make a full day of it, just like you would be doing if you was out in Prague. So I understand that. We wasn't able to get the venues to open any earlier than 4 o'clock, unfortunately, mainly just because of responsibility and having a venue open the whole day. If anything went wrong, then it wouldn't look very responsible on their behalf. However, what they have agreed to do is they do have public facing bars that are always open to the public from midday, and those will be open as normal. So previously, when we did the event, they were blocked off because they didn't want people using them throughout the day because they had the other our evening's event to focus on. However, they're going to make sure that they're accessible, and anybody who's landing in the Hackney Wick area, Queen's Yard is probably where I'd advise to go first. Because it's a great little square. You've got nice little food outlets there. All the bars sort of face into the square as well. There's a brewery on the end. There's loads of places that people are going to be able to go. So anybody wanting to make the most of it and wanting to get there a little bit earlier, I think will be fine. I think you'll be able to soak it up. I think everybody will be out and about already anyway. I think the atmosphere will already be starting to build, mate. So yeah, I encourage anyone who wants to come down a little bit earlier, do so. Don't sort of hang around away from the area. I think come to the area because then you're there. The legends are going to be turning up when they arrive. They're going to be doing the rounds, circulating. We've got Frankie McAvenny, we've got Martin Allen. They're going to be sort of getting involved and giving people picture opportunities and talking to people and so on. So yeah, get down early, I think is the plan, and just enjoy it, mate.
I will. I'm looking forward to it. I know plenty of people that are coming and plenty of people coming down early. A lot of people book days off work, haven't they? They've booked Wednesday, Thursday off, so they want to make the most of it. And also, I couldn't think of anything worse than Wednesday morning than waiting. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
If you live outside London, there's nothing worse I could think of than waiting till your train at 11 and you're just lingering all morning. It just wouldn't do me any good. My nerves would build, but my excitement would remain the same. Whereas when I'm on the train, that's when it'll flip round and I'll get more excited than nervous. So yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I'll be down there early, and I can only say what you said, which is if you're thinking about getting down early, please do. It'll be a good one. Let's get the atmosphere building.
Definitely, mate. That's what it's all about. And yeah, I mean, like you said, as soon as my eyes open on that day, mate, I'm not going to want to be doing anything else than heading straight to that area and being around everyone and soaking it all up. Well, I'm going to try and stay a little bit. Well, I have to. I can't drink before the event because I've got things to do. But kickoff time will be when I have my first drink. But I've got people coming with me who are not part of the event staff or part of the evening, and they're all saying, I don't want to peak too early because obviously want to enjoy it and want to remember it and so on. And I think you live and learn. I remember being it's on one of the cup runs that we went on. And I remember being in the St John's ambulance end 10 minutes in the game because I've got alcohol poisoning where I'd peaked so early. I'd been drinking the night before because we was all so excited. I remember 6 o'clock in the morning, we're drinking brandy, no sleep till the final, let's go. And then I remember getting there and I'm just like, yeah, it's not going to be one of them ones, mate. Going to try and be a little bit sensible and remember the final. But no, I'm looking forward to it, mate. I'm excited. One of the most important things that everybody needs to make sure that they've done is make sure that they've got the QR code on their phone. That's the most important thing. So everybody, when we've done these events before, I've done it quite relaxed. People have always said, oh, it was too relaxed. I didn't think it was quite like, I was almost not sure it was an actual event and I was worried I was going to turn up and it wouldn't be there. But normally it was, I remember the first event, me and a clipboard, printed out names on a piece of paper with a highlighter pen, and that was it. And you could walk up and give your name, and that was no problem. With this size event, we've got to make sure that everybody's tickets are scanned. We're pretty much at capacity level for both venues. So, you know, we can't have anybody getting in over and above the numbers that we've got. So it's really important. They're going to be really, really strict on this, that everybody coming along, if your QR code isn't available or it's not scannable, then obviously entry is going to be refused. So very important that you've got your QR code on your phone, and as you're walking up to the venue, to make it easier for ticket staff to get you scanned in and to keep the queues moving so we don't have a big backlog of people, walk up with your QR code, we'll scan it on our scanning system, and then obviously you'll be allowed entry. So if you haven't got your QR code yet, either email properwestham@gmail.com or raise a request on Eventbrite. I know there's some Hammers Chat people that have been having a couple of problems that haven't had their tickets, so I'll do that. There was a couple of people who had some issues with regards to the discount vouchers. They've all been resolved. So don't worry. I know some notes were put on the tickets. That's all been sorted now. So we're all clear. So all the people from Hammers Chat, you should have received your tickets by now. You should have your emails. You should have your QR codes. If you haven't, email me. I'll get them out to you. Same with everyone else. Don't matter what venue you're at. Make sure QR codes have been received. You've got the emails. If not, give me an email and I will get it sorted as quickly as possible. If we leave it till the day, you might not be able to get hold of me. I might not be available. It will just become a bit of a nightmare. Something for your guys, mate. So the Hammers Chat Patreons, we're actually going to have a different entrance to the rest of the crowd. So if you're coming along to the Colour Factory, main entrance will be at the front. We've got a side entrance, which is just down an alleyway, which we're going to have event staff directing you to that. But you'll have your own entrance. So that should help queues flow more quickly, and also help Hammers Chat people get up to their area, if that's what you want to call it, a bit easier. So communicate that would be really good. Also, food on the day is all available inside the venue. So as we said, there's food outside, lots of different food outlets, but once you get inside, lots of food options. We'll put those in the emails that are going out soon as well. You do need ID to get in, so they will take a scan of the ID. So like check in proof of age. So we've got to make sure
you're back now. You cut out for a minute.
Yeah, so that's quite an important bit as well. So ID, really important. It is for security purposes. It isn't for age proof. So make sure everyone's got ID with them and your QR code, and you'll be fine. 1/2 the hour on every hour that we're inside the venues, we've got some really special video content that has been produced for everybody. So if you're sort of keeping an eye on the time and the DJ's playing the music, if you're getting drinks, whatever, try and keep an eye out at that sort of time frame, 1/2 the hour every hour. So it'll be at 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30. Very, very special video footage that's going to be played on the big screens. Definitely worth watching. A lot of effort's been put into the production of them. So try and sort of keep an eye out for them, because I think everyone will want to see them. Frankie McAvenny and Martin Allen are going to be going around both venues. So Frankie McAvenny's mainly based at Studio 9294. Martin Allen will be mainly based at the Colour Factory. However, they will be crossing over. So Frankie McAvenny will be at the Colour Factory early. So if he's the one you want to see and your tickets are for the Colour Factory, try and be in the venue before 6 o'clock, because after 6 o'clock, Frankie McAvenny will be going over to Studio 9294 and Martin Allen will be coming back over to the Colour Factory. So that's that one. And if you've got a table, which we've got tables mainly in 9294, but there are a couple of tables in the Colour Factory. the way that your tickets will work is if the party that you're with are turning up at different times, so they're not all arriving together, all they need to do is give the name of the person who booked the table, and we will check one place off of the 6-person table. Once the 6 places have been taken up, then obviously no more guests will be allowed entry under that table name. So it's not like you're going to be able to get 20 people in on your table. We are going to be marking them off, and once 6 has been reached, then that will be cut off at that point. So yeah, tables, not a problem if you're not all arriving together, absolutely fine. Or if you've purchased bulk tickets and people will be arriving at different times, just get them to give the name, and then we'll be able to check people in. You don't have to pass on the booking. If they give the name when they get there, we will be able to just check them off. So it runs quite smoothly. People asking if they've got to print tickets out. You don't really have to print tickets out. QR code on your phone is absolutely fine. All works on a digital based system. We've got a paper backup should that fail, just in case, because we know what technology is like. But other than that, mate, it should all be quite a smooth flowing, enjoyable evening for everybody, nice and relaxed. And then as we sort of build up through the evening, we'll start introducing more and more things through the DJs. More and more things will be happening from the legends, and they'll be up on stage doing bits with the fans. The videos will all be playing, and in that sort of final hour, mate, we've got a few special surprises planned that are just going to really get everybody ready for kickoff and all excited and ready to go, mate. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything in terms of what people are going to need to know. There are smoking areas at both venues, accessibility at both venues, so no problems if people have issues with access and whatever it may be. That's all covered. But any other questions anybody has, emails at the bottom of the screen, properwestham@gmail.com. Email us, we'll get straight back to you. Any problems with tickets, if you've purchased tickets off somebody else on resale, try and let us know beforehand, just because we'll check the order number and we will actually move that booking into your name. It just gives you that comfort that when you turn up on the night, your ticket's going to be fine. Last thing we want is somebody to have resold one ticket to 4 people, the QR code scanned, and then the next people who arrive are not going to be able to get in on that ticket. That would be a disaster. So safest thing that you can do, if you have purchased a ticket off somebody else, let us know. We'll change that ticket into your name. You then know that you're going to turn up and it's all going to be fine with getting in and access and so on. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything, mate. I've been enjoying your content this week. It's been helping me, I don't know, just get through it all, mate.
Yeah, just focusing on the final, just a
yeah.
little build up. It gets me excited. It makes me nervous actually. When we're doing the videos, for some reason I get nervous about the final. I don't know why. I guess it's because you're talking about possible negative outcomes. I think maybe that's perhaps the reason. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the game. So this week I just wanted to focus on the final, and that's it.
Well, you've been speaking to a lot of people who know a lot about Fiorentina, everything else. You've kind of probably had a lot more of that information than most. Where are you sitting now, mate? How confident are you? This is the question you normally ask Gonzo. How confident are you, Gonzo? How confident is Gio?
I'm a bit worried actually after speaking to Nima in particular, because it's complete contrasting styles. You know, they're going to be very attacking, very high press, very aggressive pressing, where we are probably going to sit back and go with our low block, try and play counter-attacking football. So on one hand, it suits us because we will be able to play the game that Moyes wants to play. But on the other hand, we have struggled in the Premier League against teams with aggressive high presses like Brighton, like Newcastle. It's difficult to call. I just think it's two completely opposite styles of play. So it could be boring and we could cancel each other out, or it could just be a wild game where there's quite a few goals. I'm not sure. I don't believe there will be a lot of goals. I don't think there'll be much in it. I think I've sort of made a small prediction. I think it's more likely to go to penalties than it is that one team wins by 2 goals or more. So I think someone might win by a goal, certainly. But I do think pens is possibly more likely than West Ham or Fiorentina winning 2-0 or 3-1 or 4-2, for example. It's tough. This feels. I mean, it obviously is our toughest test. Yes, it's a final, but it feels like the first real opponent we've come up in some regards where other teams have been lacking that bit of X factor or that player that can win the game on his own or something like that. You know, we've been able to look down our noses a little bit at Alkmaar again and be like, huh, is that all you've got? Well, we can't really do that with Fiorentina. We're ready to play the team with one of the best midfielders at the World Cup in Amrabat. They've got a goal scorer on Cabral, and they've got a goal scorer on the bench on Luka Jovic. They've got Gonzalez, who's going to cause us problems as well. So, yeah, it's going to be. When I was speaking to him, sometimes he would make me feel confident because he said Moyes' football will suit this game. I thought, oh, this is what I want to hear because Moyes' football works in European football. It does. It's boring, but you need boring football in European football. You need to suck out any momentum, any tempo the other team have got. Kill it dead, and that's what we can do. We are good at it. But then he would start to talk about what Fiorentina have got going for them, and that makes me nervous and it makes me worried a little bit. And just here when they're good at set pieces. I mean, we're conceding a goal from throw-ins for crying out loud. You know, every fourth game at the minute, someone's scoring from a throw-in. So yeah, I'm nervous, Frankie. I'm very, very nervous, and I'm not I'm very optimistic, but I think I would be even if we're playing Real Madrid. I'd still be really optimistic because it's a final and it's a bit like anything goes. And I don't know, it just feels like destiny. Obviously, in a weird way, it just feels like it's meant to happen.
I think, you know, like you say, the venue, Czech Republic, you know, having the Czech boys in our team and, you know, the road to Prague. And it was all sort of touted very early on that this could be the year that, you know, that they wanted to be there, of course, and wanted to get to the final because it's like a homecoming and so on. So that all feels like written in the stars a little bit, which is good. I don't know, mate. Not like I've said to you, I didn't have too much feeling in the Alkmaar game, and I've not got too much feeling again in this one. Normally, I can pick it what I think is going to happen and how I think the game's going to go, and I've got no emotional feeling to it at the moment. Normally, I've got a gut feeling. Are we going to do it? Is it our day? And I haven't got that yet. It'll be interesting if it's going to come or if it's, you know, going to be one of them ones where I think this ain't going to happen. But that might happen on the day. Right now, what gives me the hope is that the one that sticks in my mind is Lyon away, mate. That was one of the best away games that I've ever been to, and I went there not really expecting much, and I really didn't think that game would suit us. I think from the home game, I didn't really have a lot of confidence that we'd go out there and do the job, and we really turned up. And you know, the first 20 minutes was tough. You know, they hit the post. It was a horrible first 20 minutes, if I'm honest. It looked like it was going to be one-way traffic. And then you got that breakthrough from the corner and Dawson's header. And from then on, we just kicked on. You know, we attacked them. We sort of got down got Bowen free multiple times. We was getting Antonio free a lot of the time. I'm really hoping just that Antonio turns up.
Well, he's got to.
I,
You're going to run your mouth. You better turn up.
Yeah, but mate, he runs his mouth against Callum Wilson, and then we go and get ironed out by Newcastle, you know, and so he needs a performance from 18 months ago. He needs to rewind the clock, and he needs to find that aggressive, not falling over, bullyish. You know, he's going to back into players, and he's going to be a handful, and he's going to be a nuisance, and he's going to pick up the ball and be direct. Like you said, if they're going to play that high press, one thing that Moyes has got to do. And I think we know that we're sideways and backwards. I think it was Drogba who once said about how you beat the high press. The best thing that you can do is every time you get the ball, play a forward pass. You've always got to play a forward pass because you get between the lines, and that is how you end up getting through the press and
We've
kicking
got
on.
Rice and Paqueta. You've got two centre midfielders incredibly comfortable at receiving the ball.
Absolutely. So there's no reason why we can't do it as long as it is positive. When we get the ball, we've got to look up. Bowen's got to be ready and on his toes. We've got to have Ben Rama ready on his toes. We've got our Antonio down the middle being bullish. And if we get that, we've got every single chance. And I really, really do believe that. If we get the ball and we ponder and we want to play it around at the back and we want to be slow and we want to be cautious, that I think is going to going to hurt us. So I'm just hoping we've got confidence. I'm hoping they're full of belief, like we've seen in the last, not the Leicester game so much, but the games before that.
The one thing I don't want to
and
see is a Gerd doing a hospital pass to Souček. We've seen it against Palace. We've seen him do it to Downs against Brentford as well. He can do those passes to Rice and Paqueta. That is it. And even then, I would advise no unnecessary risks like that. If someone's breathing down their neck, just be a little bit responsible. Be cautious. It's a final. Be careful, but certainly not to Thomas Souček. Do not put Souček under the pressure like that.
Well, Fiorentina through Amrabat, if you see what he does, when he picks up the ball in that little pocket there in front of the defence, he's always trying to ping it. There's always a wide player who drop a little bit deeper and they're always available. And rather than play that short pass, he's always looking to play it over the lines, out wide. You know, if you hit a bad pass at there, you give the ball away, it's not so dangerous. If you do it right down the middle like that, it's no good. We've got to be sensible. I saw a glimpse, and you said it in your other video this week in the match preview, that first leg against Alkmaar, we was a bit naive, and we're always a bit naive, don't know how to play the ref. I saw evidence for the first time in the away game that we're waking up to that. And the best example of it was when we had a corner, the ball's come over, they've broke, they're attacking, and Zuma just laid on the floor, holding his head. Just laid on the floor, holding his head, and the ref had to stop play. So that counter-attack that they was about to spring on us just went, boom, cut out, done. And that was the little examples that I thought, actually, you know, are we waking up a little bit to how you got to play the game a little bit in these European games? So I'm hopeful that we're not going to be so naive, mate, and we're a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more experienced with these situations now. And hopefully we can cut some of that naive, fresh in Europe.
Well, we're too nice. Look at our card record in the Premier League. We're the best behaved team in the Premier League in terms of cards for this season. The least yellow cards and red cards, which is, I guess some people suggest it's good. I don't think it is. You don't want to be the dirtiest, but that would suggest that you're not doing tactical fouls and so on and so forth, which we're not really. You know, it's a one-off game. As long as nobody's stupid, don't get sent off, but be a little bit streetwise. You know, Rice has got to be a leader. The Fiorentina managers told us they're going to commit a lot of fouls, so I hope somebody's telling the referee before the game even kicks off that they're going to be committing a lot of fouls. And after the third one, Rice should be putting his arm around the ref saying, "Look, mate, that's the third time they've done this. When are you going to start booking them? When are you going to start taking their names down?" I just hope that we've got the mentality for the battle as well as the tactics and the ability on the pitch.
Well, like you said as well, though, mate, we've got some people who've been there, seen it and done it. We've got some Champions League people in there now. You know it's not as lack of experience as we normally are. So,
well, let's see it.
Well, that's exactly right, mate. We need to see it, but we do. What did you make of the old interesting one? Just to finish on the suits versus the tracksuits, and we opted for the tracksuits and the picture going onto the plane. Did you have much opinion around?
I wouldn't say a strong opinion about it. I'm not that bothered, but good. Do what you want to do. If that's what makes the players comfortable, do it. If putting suits on is going to make the players feel a little bit out of place or make them feel a little bit more nervous, put the pressure on them even more, whatever, don't do it then. Obviously, it's traditional and whatever. I mean, Christ, you're going to do it. You might as well use Robert Snodgrass's brand, get them in kilts, turn up with face paint and everything on, and go full on Braveheart. But honestly, if the boys are comfy in their tracksuits, let them wear their tracksuits. Let them whatever, give them the comfiest environment. I was listening to Jesse Lingard's podcast. I know, but I listened to Jesse Lingard's podcast not long ago on Diary of a CEO. So it must have been about halfway through the season. He was at Forest for a little bit, but not that long. And he was speaking about when he went away with England. I think it was Southgate. It must have been Southgate, his manager. He was speaking about an English manager. It must have been Southgate. But anyway, no, it wasn't, because Southgate hasn't really played him because he was in the form of his life at West Ham. He still didn't get into the squad. So it wasn't Southgate. I don't know who it was, whoever was before him or whatever. Anyway, he went to the World Cup and, well, it definitely wasn't Southgate then, but he went to the World Cup, got his room key, went in his room, and there was a picture on the wall of him and Marcus Rashford, his best friend. There's a picture of him and his mum on the wall. And he said it was basically like his bedroom. He said before he didn't do it. England done it. England made their bedrooms as homely as possible. They just tried to make them feel at ease immediately. As soon as they set foot in that camp, calm down, forget it's the World Cup, just chill out. Here's your just breathe a little bit, just make it homely for them. And Jesse said it made the world a difference to him. He went in a little bit anxious, and then he had some, it was only pictures. It was just 2 pictures. That's all it was. He said, but chilled them right out. Yeah. And he just thought, oh, they know that them 2 people mean a lot to me. They've done that, blah, blah, blah. And every other player had their own pictures and stuff. And I'm not saying I want David Moyes hammering frames to the wall in the hotel, but just anything that can make the boys a little bit comfier. And if that means wearing tracksuits, bloody wear tracksuits.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And we're there early, aren't we? If we got a little... Could we have a little unsung hero on our hands in this Czech ambassador, whatever he is, the guy who claims to be West
I just assumed
Ham
Kaczynski sorted anything.
Well, we've got that guy, haven't we? What's his name?
I know who you mean,
the
bald guy. Yeah, I know
him.
him.
You know what I mean? Yeah, has he sort of, given us a bit of Prague sort of hospitality, put us up a little bit earlier because we're there, pretty much a day and a half before Fiorentina are landing. Hopefully we can acclimatise and maybe do a bit of light sort of training, get the legs moving a little bit, and that might really
they'll go
play
for a
positive
walk. I can guarantee you there'll be photos tomorrow morning of the boys walking around Prague, meeting loads of West Ham fans. And what better way to get them G'd up before their training session, before the final? It's the last chance they can go out, because Wednesday they can't really go out in the public, and they might, but it'll be a bit silly because all it takes is one Fiorentina fan to, well, hey, hang on a minute, here's a good opportunity to slide tackle Lucas Paqueta in the middle of the street and take him out for the game. So tomorrow night, the West Ham boys will go for a walk around the square, bump into loads of West Ham fans. They'll all get kisses, cuddles. They'll get told the best thing in the world. They'll walk back into that hotel feeling 10 foot tall with their chest puffed out. And if any of them were having a bad day, it'll turn it into a good one pretty quick. I think I like the fact that we're out there early, and I think I'll be shocked, Frankie, we don't see photos of them tomorrow out for a walk in Prague, meeting everybody.
Yeah, it'll be good to see, mate. It'll be good to see. And like you say, settle them all down and just, I think, I don't know, I think sometimes the club gets things wrong. I think at the moment, I'm quite happy with how things are going.
I think
it's given me all the right.
The press conference, press conference as well. I don't know if it was Moyes' call or it's a UEFA thing to have it on Friday, which seems ages away before the game. And, the Premier League one's usually on a Friday for a Sunday game and stuff. It felt really early, but then I thought about it. I thought, well, this is the best thing to do. Moyes has now dealt with Antonio's podcast on Friday. Friday night, that's it. It's done. There's no that team news, any rumours and stuff has been nipped in the bud already. So they've got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. They have 4 whole days to now get ready. The media stuff's done now. We can chill out. We can relax. Focus on the game.
Scamacca on the plane either. That rumour's gone that he might be playing over Antonio.
I never really believed it at all. I mean, also, I think Moyes would be stupid if you're going to discipline a player and drop him for the final. I think it's just ludicrous. You've got to, if he needs discipline, do it after the final. You cannot drop a player. Make a point. If it was a Premier League game, sure, I get it, right? But a final, you pick your best team, regardless of whatever. Honestly.
So, Fabianski or Areola?
I would suggest Fabianski, but you can't do that, can you? But I don't get it. I don't get why you have a cup keeper. I get it for round 3 of the FA Cup, but when you get to the semi-final of the Conference League, I think you should be going with your first keeper from that stage on.
Even the League Cup, mate. Say you had Areola all the way through the League Cup and you got to the final. I think I'd still be starting my number 1 goalkeeper, whoever I felt was the main number 1. We're not one of the clubs who sees finals and silverware all the time. You've got to just go 100%. Whoever your best team is, whoever the best players are, you've just got to play.
I agree. Play a first 11. So, I mean, if Antonio had butted David Moyes in training today, he hasn't, by the way. He hasn't. But if he had, I'd still want Antonio to start on Wednesday night.
Yeah, it ain't time for messing around, mate, is it? That's the thing, it's done and this is it. This is your one chance, this is it now. The going gets tough, it's crunch time. And for me, mate, I really would. It's a big call, I suppose. If Areola starts, it's what everyone expects. So there's no additional pressure. If Fabianski starts, there is a little bit of a
Yeah,
spotlight on
definitely.
him of, you know, you've got to perform now, because if you don't, or you make a mistake, then everyone's going to look at that and say, well, that was the wrong decision. So it's hard, mate. It's a real tough call. I think Moyes has got some real tough calls. Like you said, the right back decision for me is the easiest one out of the tough decisions, because I just think Sufal in his familiar environment, he wants that game so bad that I would just, he'd be in there for me. The left hand side is a real tricky one. Just for me, when I think about it, I just get Cresswell flashbacks of when we played
But
bigger teams and
he came
better
through the
teams, and it's
semi-finals and
just,
did nothing wrong in the semi-finals.
yeah, but come on, mate, that's not the same level, is it? Let's be honest, they weren't a very good team in the end. They
I
weren't a
know,
great
but I
team.
just don't trust Emerson's positioning at all. I don't.
Yeah,
I just don't trust him. The last thing, this if he gets the left back wrong, it could cost us the final. And I don't know what the right answer is.
yeah,
I
I
do not
agree.
know what the right answer is. By the way, I think
Who's starting for them on the right? Do you know? Is it
Gonzalez.
going to be you're not a Kone?
No, I think it'll be Gonzalez. It could be a Coney, but I think it'll be Gonzalez.
See, if I was them, a Kone's pace versus Cresswell would be something that I would be very confident of, I have to say. But yeah, it's an interesting one. It's tough. Again, it's tough. But that Cresswell thing, it gives me nightmares, mate. I never really beat him up like other people did. I didn't point the finger quite as much as other people did. I never had that animosity towards him afterwards either. And I've always backed him, as you know, when people have written him off and said, oh, he should never play for West Ham again. I've always stood by. He's fairly solid. We know his legs are going. He can't get up and down the pitch as much anymore, but he still puts in a blooming good ball, probably better than anyone
But
else in our team.
Cresswell will
And
be
he's
good
all
for a
right.
high pass, though. His passing's really good. His progressive passing
Yeah.
is really good. So Emerson's better at dribbling, and Emerson's faster. But
And that could also play into positive hands if Emerson is getting up and down that line and giving us that outlet and giving us an option to pass to, rather than Cresswell, who's going to sit deeper and not give us a
no,
forward
but he'll
option.
just give it to
Like
Ben
his
Rama and say,
passing
turn
is
and run
there,
at your
but
man. Whereas Emerson runs
yeah,
up
it's
and says,
tough.
Ben Rama, get out of the way. I'm running at your man.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. But then also gives them something to think about. Can we be as advanced as we want to be? Because we can't leave Emerson, because we know he will push
Yeah.
forward. There's so many different things that you could query here and question, and how it could pan out. He's got a tough call in his hands, old Moyes. And like what we did this video before the semi-final, and I said at that point, I've got not going to make any more noises with regards to Moyes or any negativity. All he's got to do is fluke 2 more games. He's done one. He's just got to do another one, mate. So hopefully he can just get it right. Just get it right one more time, and then we'll all be very, very, very happy. So, well, thanks for joining on, mate. Anyone who's got any questions, the email's on the screen. Emails will be going out this evening with all the information in there as to where venues are, how to access them, a little bit more detail about the stuff that we've said about tonight. Little quick one on the 2 venues. Come out of Hackney Wick train station, turn immediate left, and the Colour Factory is right in front of you. Or there's an alleyway down the side of Queen's Yard. If you walk through there, you'll walk straight into Studio 9294. So very easy to access both, all within a stone's throw of each other. But like I say, if you're there early, mingle around the Queen's Yard, that's going to be the most ideal spot for you. If you're getting there and you want to head straight to your venues, Colour Factory, come out the station, turn into Queen's Yard on the left, Studio 9294, walk through the alleyway, and then it's there right in front of you. So more instructions in the emails. Appreciate everything that everybody's done for these events. I'm overwhelmed with how well supported they've been. The emails that we've had from the semi-final, people saying best night of their life, best night as a West Ham fan. Just an incredible event that was last time. So really backing it again this time. One thing that we're going to have to make a point of, and we do need to do this, and we will also be doing it on the night, is that we understand that we're in a final. And if we score a goal, or if West Ham win, we're all going to go absolutely mental. And it did in the semi-final. And in the most part, for the semi-final, as much as everyone went crazy, there was no launching beer through the air, because these venues have gotten, people who haven't been, people who have been will know, but people who haven't been, when you get there, they are state of the art, and I mean the most expensive speakers that money can buy. The projectors are absolutely out of this world. The picture is fantastic. You will love the view of the screens when you get there. Because all of this equipment is so expensive and so expensive to replace, if we all bounce around, jump up each other, and beers going everywhere, that's absolutely fine, no problem at all. If you launch it through the air and it hits the equipment, unfortunately, we had one incident last time where someone threw one off of it weren't even the people downstairs celebrating. One person threw it off a balcony. It went straight into one of the light rigs and into one of the projectors, and there was liquid coming out of this projector. We were supposed to stay open until 11:30. The venue immediately shut the venue and said, we're going to close an hour early because we can't have this sort of damages. It's too much money. I ended up picking up the bill so we could go back for the final. If I didn't pick up for the bill, there wouldn't be no fan part. So it's come out of my pocket. That's fine. No problem. But please, beer's going to go everywhere. Everyone's going to go mad. Just don't launch it through the air, because they will close the venue, and we don't need that. It would just spoil the night for everyone, and it will be a real shame. We want to party the night away. Mate, I'm planning on partying regardless of the result. I want to win. I want to win more than anything. But I'm having a good East End knees up regardless to end the journey, and hopefully it's one where we're all celebrating and we're all absolutely joyous, mate, and we'll stay in there until the very, very last moment where they physically chuck us out that door and we've all had a real good drink, and we can all spill out into the streets and carry on celebrating into the night. So, but yeah, please, anyone, it was so good last time. It was one of the best examples of, I've seen it, of West Ham fans celebrating a goal in the last minute of a semi-final, and there wasn't people stupidly just chucking drinks up in the air, mate. We did it impeccably. It was perfect. I just want everyone to do the same again, and we'll have a really, really good night. So, mate, thank you for jumping on and joining me. Really appreciate it. We got any more content coming out for you before the final now?
I'll be live tomorrow night, just like interacting with the live chat, see what everybody else is saying ahead of the final, really. Probably
Looking
making me
forward to
more
that,
nervous,
mate.
but
I need that content. It's keeping me calm. It's
and
keeping me
then
calm.
Wednesday I'll do something around midday from Hackney, Wick area, and just pop it up just to see what the vibe is, kind of thing. And that'll be it. And then that's it. If we win, there'll be a video, God knows what time on Wednesday night, of pissed up West Ham fans celebrating. If we lose, you're probably gonna have to wait quite a few days before you see me again.
Yeah, I think you won't be seeing any of us for a while.
You won't. I will not be doing a video. I will not be doing a video about us losing. If we win, however, I might just do like a live stream just for the rest of the week, just walking around, just celebrating non-stop. But
yeah, well, hopefully you'll be live from the trophy parade, mate, from the open top bus going around. Well, I don't know where
we'll
it's
see
going to
how
go
that
round. It's
works.
going to go around somewhere, maybe the athletics track around the outside of the pitch.
Well, we can't, can we? They're setting up for baseball, aren't they?
Yeah.
So can't do a parade in the stadium because baseball's in there at the minute. So just no. Final. We're focusing on the final. We're not getting
final only, mate. We'll worry about that another time.
Yeah.
Right then, mate. I'm going to catch you later. Have a good night, and I will see you on Wednesday.
I'm forever blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles in